Hello, soul family, star family, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Shaman Augustina here. And I want to talk about this rare blue moon we just had. We just got through, we're just on the other side of. And if you feel like you can't bring your old identity forward, this is why. We're going to talk about why. Because this freaking blue moon was such a big deal. There was so many illuminating frequencies, projections, all sorts of things around this blue moon that made us realize that we can't carry forward with our old beliefs, our old structures, what we were doing before. And we actually need to step into a radical acceptance, happily understand that from moment to moment, things are going to change and that we cannot carry our old belief systems with us anymore. We actually have to walk our talk, walk the new belief system, walk our true identities, and be brave over and over and over again. And dang, the amazing shares, disclosures, information that's coming out right now and lately is so polarizing, even for the spiritual community, and it's fascinating. And so I know that it is because we're all supposed to have some levels of shock to our system with all this information, all this beautiful discovery and sharing of the discoveries, because now is the safe time to share what we have learned about ourselves, what we've discovered scientifically, spiritually, in quantum physics, in the Planck realm, in all of these, anti-gravitational research areas. Oh my gosh, what's happening in Hollywood? What's happening with our government? What's happening with the Epstein files? Like, all of this disclosure and information is here to help us remember that we need to break away from this system that was clearly not working. And we're just going to get reminded over and over why it's unhealthy, what that trajectory was going down, what that belief system, our old belief system, where that was taking us. Yikes. We're just going to be reminded day in and day out and overstimulated by it. I guess I don't mean to do this as if we're not overstimulated. I just mean you can unplug and regulate yourself at any time. So we also choose the level we are stimulated by things, or overstimulated or understimulated. We have so much free will and conscious choice, respectfully. Thank you, universe and God, for giving that to us. So I say that with respect, because when you've actually done the work, when you've actually really gone there in yourself, you can face those conscious choices, and you can face what your subconscious is also told you, and what it's bringing up for you, and you can face all those things with like reality, real talk, real consciousness, if you just own that we overstimulate ourselves. So anyways, all of that to say, we're being blown up from every angle to remind us that we need to consciously walk our talk and walk our new belief system. And so many people who've done the shadow work and the spiritual work remember enough, at least, of who they are, genuinely, truly, actually. We remember who we are. I remember enough about who I am. Okay, guys? Like, we have enough life experience under our belts to be honest with ourselves at this point and recognize, like, it is the internal game right now. It is the internal game that directly affects the external game. This holographic universe, this matrix, respectfully, that God has given us, is all in our belief system. Will be tested with our old timeline, sure, but it's getting easier and easier to work through it, dismiss the old timeline. Like, they're crashing right before our eyes. We're being faced with so many lessons, so many things that, like, we've already done the work on. We already know. We're just waiting patiently because time is no thing. Or just being present with the process of this beautiful future we know is inevitable, because we know we won't stop existing. We are from the future and the past, right? We are from now space. We know we won't just stop existing. So the whole doom and gloom thing, the old narrative and the old story, our old beliefs about how small we've been and how spiritually small we've been and all these things, our prayers not being heard, this and that, respectfully. If we're still existing here and now, and we have things to be grateful for, like, it's the quantum leap theory, right? Like, respectfully, we're there. We're there. Believe we're there because we're there. Like, because it's inevitable. That timeline is inevitable, because respectfully, I do not stop existing. Respectfully, the divine feminine exists. She will exist. She has existed, and she will continue to exist. Nothing destroys her, no matter how hard we've been so repressed and oppressed. Respectfully, the more you cry the tears you need to cry, the more you ground yourself in what you know is true, the more you pep talk yourself and say, I have no more time for doubt. That's like one of my favorite mantras is like, I have no more time for doubt. God tells me I have no more time for doubt on this mission. There's no more time for doubt. I only believe in the good timeline and love and peace and this world alchemizing to a much healthier and higher frequency, because I'm in this vessel embodying this frequency upgrade and this shift, and I feel it, I see it, it's just coming easier. Like, if I'm expanding and holding space for this spiritual growth, and I've had a crap ton of past life memories come flooding in the last bunch of years, and I am like, okay, I get it. I cannot not remember. Then it is inevitable, respectfully. It is inevitable. This positive timeline, this great shift, it's just coming in, and God is bringing it in. And right now it's about your faith in yourself and trust, like leaning into that, leaning into God, whatever your practice is around that, respectfully, that centers you and grounds you. Mine's being out in nature, out on my hikes, out in the mountains, praying and doing ceremony just with God, like one-to-one time, but also in ceremony when I'm doing work with other people. I really, really feel God. But whatever it is for you that just connects you and your higher self in clarity and coherence, that is what is the truth. God is not chaos, unsettled, insecure, unhealed, suffering energy. That is the shadow to be looked at and to be healed and integrated. God is every bit of light from the universe that helps to bring and facilitate that healing, that oneness, that enlightenment, that remembering. So, and guess what? God is patient as heck. Patient as heck. I am one of the most stubborn people. One of the most stubborn. And it is with great purpose. It helps me learn really good things. But I've been very resistant to my own accountability and ownership of my lessons, and wanted to blame externally, like, oh, well, it's this and this and this and this. It's this person's fault. Blame this, blame that. It's the government. It's this, it's that. It's after spending the time that I have in the trauma fields and the trenches with people on their worst days, and including my worst days, and just reveling and living in that suffering, realizing that, like, what gets us through all of that is love and belief in something better and belief in something bigger and more than ourselves, and this future with God, whatever that looks like and means. That's what gets us through every moment of every day. So God is in everything, being patient, waiting for us to remember that God is right there with us. So, respectfully, there's just a little bit of my regurgitation and thoughts on this blue moon and how ruthless we need to be with accepting the new timeline and accepting who we are and accepting that it's already here and accepting that the blessings and abundance comes and comes and comes and comes, and the divine feminine needs to put down the swords and step into the softness, being the way we spiritually battle right now. Because I've just had a sword in my hand for all these years, battling in my masculine aspect of my divine feminine. And now I'm like, it's time to just be. It's just time to relax. It's time to just trust. It's time to have just faith and know God takes care. God provides. Like, God is the kingdom. God is literally, thankfully, allowing so many systems to fall the way they actually need to for this new world to come into fruition. We have to witness the end so that we know how to not make the same mistakes again. We can't just be ignorant and keep forgetting and having this amnesia. Like, we needed a lifetime where this much rapid expansion and growth happened for us to be like, okay, it's about moving forward and progressing. This whole negative belief system that has created so much discoherence and separation between the most natural elements in the world, the male and the female. Like, we should be way more unified at this point with what we know about the universe. So the negative aspect and the fear around this unified field is collapsing, and that's okay. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it, guys. I know, because I have gotten through 100% of my hardest days. 100% of them. And I've had a lot of hard days. And I've had a lot of happy days. I've had more happiness than I have had struggle, and I've had a lot of struggle. And I know and trust that the best memories, the best parts of my life haven't even happened yet. And a lot of great things have happened to me. So, like, and I trust that, and I know that, and that's why my soul contract was like, all right, sister, we know how tough we are. Let's be ruthless for this lifetime. Let's get it going. Like, you're going to be a gritter. You're going to be a shaman. You're going to do exorcisms. You're going to do so much spiritual work. You're going to do the ruthless groundwork. You're going to be born into a totally oh my God, we're going to be born straight into the darkest parts of the shadow of the universe. That's what you're going to be born into. The most traumatic parts of the masculine and feminine. Oh man, respectfully. And we're going to just keep coming through it and be more beautiful and fabulous through it all, because it all makes us tougher and wiser. And every opportunity either makes us bitter or better. And I know I'm coming like rapid fire with my ADHD squirrels in my message today around this blue moon, but I just feel the importance of sharing, I don't know, just pieces of all the information and research I have done for so many years all together into my spiritual rant, where I truly believe that we are already on this positive timeline. We're just being highly awakened to the truth. And I get to witness now all of society come to the understanding of the truth of the universe and the world that I have known for a really long time. And I've had to just keep in my heart silent for a really long time, waiting for an opportunity to speak where I'm actually spiritually safe too. And just acknowledge that I understand that this is ruthless healing time, but I know that ruthless healing is real and we are capable of it. Like, we all are. I know it because I have seen so many examples of it. I've seen and supported so many people come through the darkest parts of their shadow respectfully. I've seen so many people heal from every walk of life. And I've seen the dark parts that refuse to heal, and that are not ready to heal, and that say they are, but they aren't, respectfully. And there's a giant pendulum swings of those and giant spectrums of that as well. Just where people are like, ready, not ready. Oh, stages of change. Where are we at? Oh God, we were triggered, took 10 steps back. Like, but as long as you are moving and progressing towards healing and believing that it's possible to heal. Oh, I messed my hair up. I love it. As long as you just like continue to believe that you are capable of being a better person every day, just whatever that means for yourself right now, because it's really, really that internal battle right now of like, be proud, do what makes you feel proud of yourself, like make yourself proud right now, do little tiny things to step into and embody who you know you actually are deep down. And I know there's going to be a lot of NPCs, there's going to be, respectfully, there's going to be muggles that do not understand. I like to call the NPCs muggles as well. Like whatever, the non-magic folk. Because it's just fun references, right? But those folks, there's so many people who are waking up every day. I know there's many, many people waking up every minute of every day. Like we got that download from the Galactic Alliance. Thank gosh. But there's also a lot of people who are not going to wake up and who are going to have a violent time waking up, and it's going to be, and it's ruthless, and we know, right? And we always knew that, right? The spiritual aware people, we've always known that this was going to be a rough time. So let's just get regrounded in what we were grounded in during our awakenings, like what we had to do to like reground ourselves during our hard parts, remind ourselves how strong we are, and hold down the fort as like people who are aware of the grid, you know, the beautiful Akashic records and the beautiful, beautiful spiritual divine golden grid that holds us together and like truly is activating this planet right now. Just let's hold down our forts, take care of ourselves, and our presence alone is going to help these other folks who have no idea what's going on be grounded through this time. They're going to come to us and lean on us respectfully. So do the shadow work, but also be patient. Just take one step towards who you know you spiritually are every single day. Own her, own him, you know, celebrate them. Create ritual if you need to around honoring this identity and this healed version of you that you are going to claim. That was a really, really amazing thing that happened to me at the Rise of the Guardians event. I was sitting next to this man. I might have got his name and I forget now, but I sat beside him during one of the speakers, and this speaker did a big healing on the whole audience, and he was asking us where we were at in our healing journey, and if we were like healed, and if we were claiming that we had done the work. And the guy next to me was just like, I don't know if I have, like, I hope so. He's speaking out loud, very vulnerably and honestly. And I'm just like, yeah, you have, man. Just claim it. You're here. Like, you are here. There's so many men who aren't here at this event, who aren't aware of what you're aware of right now, who aren't receiving this healing right now, respectfully, even though the work was done for the whole world at that event. I just really appreciated this conversation just between him and I, where I was like, claim it, man, you've done it. And then he was like, thank you. Yeah, I claim it. His whole energy shifts. And then afterwards, he was like, thank you for saying that. That was like actually really powerful. And we had like a hug about it and stuff. And I was like, I'm just so grateful that I could share that. Like, claim it. Claim the work that you have done. Claim that you understand that you have adopted a new belief system. Claim that you're going to walk, in your talk, and be coherent. Claim it. Be yourself. Like, I'm doing my best sharing right now on the internet my authentic self. I have avoided being on YouTube and presenting myself in this full spiritual manner for a long time, out of honestly protection, like self-protection. And for various reasons we'll get into eventually. There's going to be a video on that soon of my full story. I'm going to have an an interview with one of my best friends, and then she's going to interview me on my story very soon. And so respectfully, that will come more around the self-protective measures I've had to take. But it is time to just be our authentic selves and put the intention out that we are meant to find our people, our community, the people who are meant to support us, the people who are meant to trigger the rest of the work that's left are going to be presented either in a polarizing video that offends us, but we want to investigate further why, just so we can understand if we need to heal that a little bit more, or if that's like an opinion that actually means something to us, and that's a good thing. Like, there's so many ways to look at the triggers and how we are integrating them right now, and just regrounding ourselves. Because honestly, it's not spiritually safe to spiritually bypass any of this work anymore. It's not spiritually safe to continue to project judgment and negativity on the mirrors that people are to us, because we're just looking at what we don't like about ourselves. Like, when we come so hard in judgment, right? Like, we need to be understanding why we do these things, what our patterns are, our behavioral patterns, the old structure of thought, belief, all these things, and understand that our brains are plastic, my darlings. Plastic, our whole lives. They can change. That means they're moldable. That means they're tractable. They're able to be molded, able to be changed. And if you find that your neural pathways are really rigid and strong and you have a hard time getting out of these patterns, there is healing for that with love. There are healing things you can do for that can make those rigid belief patterns, thought patterns, maybe they are habits that you're trying to break, but you're just like really struggling with that. Could be addictions, could be so many things. And there are so many things that also don't include substances, respectfully, and do include substances, but don't also, that can put like fresh layers of snow on those like deeply rooted paths, so that you're just like not so rigid and in depth with them, and able to take a step in a new path and create new thought patterns for yourselves. That's just an analogy I like to use in healing our neural pathways, is just like, we need a blanket of snow to come in here and just make this not as rigid, not so worn in, these ways of beliefs, when we know we can change our minds. We can change what we're doing. We can level up like the phoenix. We can come through the flame and fire and these hardcore lessons and choose to be better instead of bitter. And we can be the person the world needs us to be right now. Because I have the intention of this video finding everyone it needs to find. And in time, when they're ready, whatever that means. And I know that I'm calling in a really, really healthy spiritual community for myself. I already started that mission this year, going to a spiritual event in a different country that like already expanded and pushed my bubble of like, oh my God, yay, community is growing. Got invitations to continue to grow my community. And that is being extended to everyone. We have lived in fear for too long. So someone is there to help you heal. Someone is there to trigger your healing further. Trust. And for ladies, I just want to say respectfully to the divine feminine to take a moment of respectfully, if you're trying to really, really heal the divine feminine, if you're not in a relationship right now, celibacy, girlfriend. Celibacy is really, really where it's at. That's where you're going to find your divine glow. That's where you're going to spend all the time self-loving yourself, and then remembering that you're worthy of being treated so well, because you treat yourself so well. And then in return, you can treat your divine masculine counterpart so well. And we can trust the bonds we build when we really, really, really take care of ourselves right now. So I just wanted to share that however you express your sexuality and femininity and sensuality, you can do it celibate and really, really recharge your batteries, my love. Oh my God, you can do it. And so I just wanted to say that. Take it or leave it. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Don't worry. But I am seeing that reflected in the divine feminine spiritual community with ladies that I'm looking up to. And I'm like, that's it, because that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm seeing reflected in the mirrors around me that is working for other ladies who are really, really in a good place spiritually, like, and with God, like they're square with God. And I'm like, it's a beautiful, beautiful lesson that my life has brought me back around to. So I just wanted to share that with the divine feminine from my heart. I just want to increase the messaging around how, yes, that has increased my finances, my like inner peace, my grounding is just like really, really understanding your body as a temple and a beautiful vessel, and like I am, be married to God. If you got to have a man on your arm in the meantime, let it be Jesus and God. He's always your plus one. Always. And then I speak to the divine masculine so much, respectfully, in so many other areas of my work. So I will make a whole video about that at some point here too. But I really, really feel that there are a lot of divine masculine. I watched the divine masculine panel at the Rise of the Guardians, and all of those men and so many more that I'm finding online are and on YouTube's who have very authentic channels are speaking from the divine masculine in really wonderful ways right now. I'm seeing like community starting to be put out there, lots of like genuine opportunities for divine masculine to come together and do the protection and grid work together more consciously. And I'm seeing a lot of that come up, and a lot of boundaries, healthy masculine boundaries that are being put up, and leadership as well. So I just want to give that credit to the divine masculine. I think they're like giving themselves really quality advice right now and walking their talk. And it's a really, really charged time, especially after this blue moon, of like, it is time to just accept your identity. And so people are really like falling into alignment, the masculine right now, like really quickly. And I really respect that. So that's what I want to say to the divine masculine right now. I think who I am witnessing and setting an example are doing a really great job walking their talk right now and being vulnerable, all for the world to see the healthy parts that are available to share. So I didn't want to sound too vague around that. I just wanted to give the credit to the channels that I've been witnessing. So there's that thought. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that, I guess, because I see a lot of conflicting, the polarization online as well. And I know that's on purpose. It's all by the algorithm's design. They have studied the psychology of selling us shit and activating our nervous systems. And so I know I'm seeing the polarizing messages on the TikTok, Instagram, other things like that, where oh man, there's like this negative view of the masculine right now, and the negative views of the feminine right now, and the negative views of connecting in relationships right now, and everybody kind of complaining about how hard it is to make friends and how hard it is to relate to people now, and this and that, because of the shit we have all gone through, the compounding trauma that we've all gone through from ever-changing goalposts of, oh my gosh, the world's going to blow up in doom and gloom here and now, right? So much has happened to our nervous systems that we don't know what else to do but blame each other. And really it's about, okay, let's all heal ourselves so we can heal our nations. Like that's where we're heading to. That's where we're at. There's where so many people are at. But there's this polarized, unhealed aspect that is also valid, but it's creating a lot of fear for people. And I can see it and hear it when you just have conversations with average people at a freaking coffee shop. There's just the narrative that we're not ready to do community, that we're not ready to connect, and that we all hate each other. And I wanted to speak to how I just don't believe that's true. I believe what you think becomes belief systems, which become the juicy part of thought, which then become your reality, because that's for the Maya you're supposed to work through. That's the disillusion you're supposed to work through to get to the other side, knowing that actually it's not like that. And then the more you go through that process, the faster and faster you can cut through the bullshit. But there are still people who haven't been able to cut through the illusion that we are all hate each other and that we're blaming each other, when really this has been done to us. We've been put into a cooking pot, a boiling pot of just pain and suffering that none of us deserved, and we're not actually doing it to each other. It's been done to us. So I want to empower the narrative and say, I see healthy things coming through. I see healthy communication coming through. I see healthy relationships coming through. I see all of the beautiful things coming through. I see us healing. Yeah. I literally see us coming through this because people are looking for meaning more now than success. Like, our idea of money is being so challenged right now, right? Because it's like fraudulent slave dollars backed by nothing. And so there's a lot happening in the money systems right now, sorting out the gold and the silver and this and that. And so we are looking at success, sustainability, the kingdom, lifetimes, our future differently, and how to sustain it differently now. And so that's interesting because meaning was the purpose here. Having meaning, having purpose. Oh my gosh, making something out of this life, having memories, being on our deathbed, looking back on our life, being like, dang, I have no regrets because I took all the chances. I messed up a lot, but because of that, I got all this life experience and I have no regrets for not trying anything because I made the memories. Like, that's what life is about. It's about leaving this place with as much experience as possible and being a better and better person every day because of that. Bringing in the positive timeline and the positive future that we want for our children. Doing all of that, understanding our history, where our trauma work, from our intergenerational trauma, from all of our like bloodline curses. It's about recognizing we can heal all of that instantaneously with every choice, with the unified field, because time doesn't actually exist, right? So like with every conscious choice in every moment we make that is positive for us, that helps inspire our positive growth in whatever way, that time is not wasted. It literally heals everything. Every healing choice we make actively heals the collective. I know because I've seen the collective reflect back my ideas that I planted seeds in, and then I heard people I never met before speaking things to me that I know I implanted years and years ago in one person one time, and there's this ripple effect, and then you're just like, oh, can that be coincidence? No, sister, because there's no coincidences. Quantum entanglement. Okay? Something happening right now in this moment affects something happening simultaneously in another moment in the universe, like, and then there's ripple effect in the whole grid because of that. Okay? There's no coincidence. So be intentional, is what I'm trying to say. Be intentional as you can be. And if it's intentionally playing and being silly because that's what makes your life easier and lighter in this moment, please do that. If it's going to get a massage because you need to work out your lymphatic drainage in your body and take care of all of the beautiful systems in your fabulous temple and vessel, do it. If it's taking a day off because you just deserve rest, the end. Single mothers, all mothers. I just have to say single mothers first because I'm a single mom. So like single mothers, all the fathers, all the people without children, animals, everybody. Okay, permission for literally everyone. Take a day off. Whatever it is, take care of yourself, love yourself, okay? Get your self-care intact. That's what it's about. Self-love and self-care. And if you need ideas on self-care and how to do that, I have a list of over 1,000 ideas that are as simple as putting fake tattoos on your body, because that can just be soothing. Okay? So many ideas. There's so many ideas I have. Take baths, cleanse yourself, take your freaking supplements and your vitamins because we're not getting enough food. Be mindful of your water, okay? Water is everything. And I say all of that with love because that's what I'm doing for myself. So these are some examples just to give some ideas because I know sometimes people need inspiration. I know I used to. I know at different times I need it. Actually, I still need it because I'm rewatching so many great spiritual speakers and quantum physicists speak about things I've heard years and years ago, but just to remind myself because I have new eyes, like fresh eyes on it. And then it's reminding me, oh yeah, I literally can take better care of myself just by speaking a mantra at my water, like at my filtered water. I can tell it is full of divine love and God has protected it. And that clears it all of a bunch of bullshit. Like seriously. Remind yourself how easy it is to cast fabulous healing spells on your food, on your water, and protection spells around you at all times because there's a lot of negative frequencies and freaking microwave freaking frequencies and radiation and all this stuff coming at us. Just protect yourself. Leave your house being like, I'm in my protective field. Start talking to yourself like you are divinely protected because you are. Okay, there's my rambles and rants on this blue moon for that. That's where we're at in the change, brothers and sisters. We are embodying who we know we are now. Yes, because I am, so you are. Here's your mirror. I see you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your shadow work. Also, I have to say, because I know it hasn't been easy. Okay. And it also became easy at some point for us to do it so solo as well. I know there's like this like isolated solitude place of like all this work that we got really used to, but we got to share it now. Like we got to share it with each other, what we have done in the shadow work and what we've done in the shadows, because people need to know. People need to know what has been done for inspiration, to know that it's not just all doom and gloom and that stinking thing that's being pushed, the algorithm of negativity. All right, now I'm going to do a card reading. Sorry, it like jumped to that, but I was like, pause video, unpause. You're welcome. I'm still working on my editing. Anyways, I'm going to do a card reading for the collective with my new favorite deck that chose me, and I'm so grateful for her. This one, the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and it's by Kim Kranz because we adore you. This deck found me and chose me. I have a blue rose on my hand, and this is a blue rose deck. And I'll tell the whole story about that some other time, how we choose decks, how decks choose us, how we get gifted decks. We can talk about that fabulous magicness. But these spiritual tools do help us sometimes understand more of what's just going on in the world. We can be sitting here scratching our head sometimes like, oh my God, as much as I just listened to fabulous astrologers like the Leo King David Palmer, respectfully, and other fabulous astrologers, we can listen to all these people tell us like this is what's going on in the world, and we're like, yes, yes, yes. But then sometimes the divine feminine's like, but what does my intuition say? What are the themes? What are the colorful overall arching themes that help my intuition click and make sense of it all in the softer way? Is how I like to explain it. Just for me, I'm like, this is my gentle guidance from the universe, where she's not bitch slapped. Well, sometimes it comes across like that, but I'm not getting bitch slapped with like, hey, here's the harsh reality of the planet. Like, they don't care about your feelings. Like, my deck cares about my feelings, even though sometimes it's very blunt. Okay, so we're going to pull some cards, but 1 second. We're going to bless the deck and come back. Okay, I just had to ask quick permissions if the deck was willing to do a reading for the collective and not just for me, because that's what it's used to doing. That's what we've done up to this point so far. So I was just like, shall we? Are we able to? And the deck's like, nudge. The intuition's like, permissions granted. So we have permissions from the deck. I'm just going to shuffle them. Consent, man, as I'm shuffling. It's important. And it is sexy. I just have to say that because I've had questionable characters in my past try to tell me that consent wasn't sexy, and I was just like, hello? That doesn't make sense to me because I find consent very sexy. I love knowing what I'm able to and allowed to do, and where I can also have boundaries and knowing how to respect someone so that I don't mess up my opportunity with these people. I love consent. I love consent because I love boundaries, and I love knowing what I have permission for and with someone. It's really positive. It's really sexy. Just have to say that. Y'all know who you are if you've literally thought, that consent isn't sexy. You know who you are. Shakes my head. Okay. So we're going to pull 4 cards. That's what I'm getting. Because also that's what I pull with this deck. It's 4 cards. Sorry. I have to itch my eye. Hardcore about intuition with this deck. But also, because it's newer to me, we have the book in case we do need to reference what each card means, what it gets us to think about more. So we'll see how I feel about this one. And then I might be able to just know right away. Sometimes it's that fast at intuiting. And then the 4-card reading with this deck. The first one is the Door of Initiation card. So this is the first step to take. It must be done before everything else, even if you'd rather avoid it. This card may remind us of a person, situation, a memory, or a dream. The second card represents the Door of Fortune. This is the door you will then be led into. Here you will find a new fortune, interest, or boon. The third card is the Door of Resistance. This is a new depth that will challenge your ego and your willingness to continue. This is ultimately why you may hesitate to take the step card it requires, or you require. The Door of Destination is the 4th card. So this is a vision of the future possibility. It may be hard to relate to this card right now, but eventually, as you take the steps towards it, more will come into focus. But for now, it remains elusive, waiting for you. So that's the 4-card spread for this deck, which I like, which I appreciate. Because I'm like, cool, just awareness of where we're at and where we're going. Okay, back to the regular programming. Sorry, I had to pause for a second because I realized the mic was not in my hand. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't know if you were able to hear all of that last bit that I just said when I put everything down, but you were able to. It just wasn't as clear, but I realized I had to pick the mic back up and make sure that you could still hear it, or if I had to re-record that part. So back to the programming. So in the 4-card spread, the first card was the initiation card. Yes. And so for the first one we pulled was Pluto, initiation card. Look at this interesting and neat card. So yeah, to have another focus, this is that blue rose on this side. But yeah, this is this first initiation card. So Pluto, meaning the underworld, power, and compulsion. So Pluto's realm is one of deep and undeniable power, known as the planet of the underworld. Pluto has a captivating effect that pulls us into its depths, leading to all things excessive and Dionysian in nature. Dionysian in nature. Wow. I don't know if I know that word. Dionysian. I'm going to look it up after. I love when I learn new things. Okay. So that in nature. Images of the resurrection, possession, the sacred heart, birth, sex, and death are all symbols of Pluto's volatile energy. When this card shows up, know that everything will be amplified as if through a live wire. It's all about power and maybe even addiction. Though Pluto's force field can be ruthless, this tiny planet pushes us towards necessary growth. When we follow its mesmerizing pulse, we are taken into the depths to be changed. There's no point in pretending the underworld is not at work. Admit that you're in it and find the support you need. Not making it worse is a big accomplishment. So to go deeper, it suggests watching the movie Labyrinth. And to ponder, it says the miracle of small things. So the rest of the shadow work. Initiation is looking at our old belief patterns and systems and checking the last bit of Pluto's shadows and all of that underworld. That's okay. We have to own all aspects of ourselves to move forward. Radical acceptance, baby. Radical acceptance. Integrate, accept, integrate, accept. I know I'm making it sound easier than that, but when you practice like non-detachment and non-attachment, thinking so many things. When we practice non-attachment and we understand that we can't hold on, we have to just let things flow through us, flow through us, and not hold on to the baggage. We got to put it down. That's Pluto's work, right? We get the support we need. We own our shit. We be accountable for the things that work and what don't work and shed the rest. But sorry, that's the initiation card. So card 1, initiation, Pluto. All right. Card 2, disillusion. This card. Just holding it up just in case it's triggering things for anyone, for any ladies. So 1 second, I'm going to pause and find the page. Okay, so the second card, the card of fortune, the fortune card, is disillusion. So reading what this card means, I decided to, instead of give my whole life interpretation on it, read the card's interpretation and then let that land and trigger what it needs to for your internal journey. So I don't want to cast too much projection on it. I just realized with the last card, I'm like, this is what it means, guys. Like, I'll read this, and it's important for you to interpret what it means to you. It really is. So this is what it means overall, and then take and leave what resonates and integrate how it means to you. That's how this collective card reading works. So I'll project less, I promise. Less Leo energy. Got it. Thanks, God. Okay, so second card, disillusion. Meaning surrender, dissolving, and formlessness. So solutio is the great alchemical operation of water. It represents the form becoming formless, that which is solid dissolving into liquid. In many alchemical texts, it is the first operation and summarizes the heart of alchemy, as in the axiom solve et coagula, dissolve to unite. For our purposes, it is important to know that solutio involves a dissolving of definitions, identities, and labels. The strongholds of the ego drown in the emotional realm of water. We dive back to the beginning, the prima materia. This operation is humbling and disorientating, and oftentimes feels as though the self we knew has disappeared. Who are we now? How will others describe us? When these questions are afoot, the alchemical magic of solutio is underway. By surrendering to the waves, we unite with the primordial essence and return to our deepest self. So to go deeper, we watched the movie The Shape of Water. I haven't seen that one yet, so maybe I should. To ponder is the sound of rain, which is amazing because it's raining out today like crazy. And windy as heck if you can't see the tree going nuts outside. Super windy and rainy. Ooh, another side note it says that I think is relevant to say, just in case it triggers anything in anyone. Water is always in motion, much like our emotions. Solutio requires us to let the tears flow, to soften the edges, to soak in the healing waters of our feelings. Hence the cleansing in water, my sisters and brothers. Okay, so card number 3. Oh, I already picked up the book. Sorry. Card number 3 is the door of resistance as a reminder. So, what are we resisting within ourselves? Card number 3. Calcification. And when we're doing in-depth card readings with these cards, usually the way it's turned in the reading matters, but I found for this reading it doesn't really. It kind of informs me, but for everyone else it doesn't truly matter. But just for your awareness, if you use these cards, that matters, and we get to intuit that as well. But I don't want to project what stage anyone is at with these things, because I know I'm at my own stage with this. My resistance is my stubbornness of like, well, I just have always been like that. And my brain's like, but girl, you've outgrown so many things. My higher self, like, girl, you grow. And then the calcification part of myself have at its own place. Okay, so let's read what this card means. The resistance. Heat, fire, and desire. Oh, sorry, my computer's telling me stuff. It's dying. 1 sec. It's going to keep making noises at me. It's going to keep making noises at me. I just want to shut it off. Okay, we're back. So many tech errors. Sorry, but thank you for your patience. Genuinely, I appreciate it. Okay, back to the cards. So the third one. Calcification is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there is enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. How does calcification begin? With a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame. On the psychic level, this stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness, and intention, I'm going to add. The transformation that occurs from calcification is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through the discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. So to go deeper, contemplate Lao Tzu's teaching, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. And then to ponder the color of the fire. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. And then on the side here, I'll show you. It's got like words all the way around it, things to think about. And then it says, the divine flame resides within, and it is yours to tend to, darlings. That said, doing so patiently and with support will lead to change that is holy rather than hasty. J'adore. Love that. And fire has been used in rituals across all cultures, religions, and eras. Honor the element of fire today in a literal or metaphorical way. I do a lot of ceremony with fire. I had to burn like almost 10 years of journals in a giant bonfire. Saddest and happiest day. Okay. All right. I just had to like solidify all the lessons of those things without carrying the weight of all those words and spells that were just like so sad in all the processing, but I had to like integrate, like not lose it all, but stop re-traumatizing myself by opening one of those books and being like, dang, that was some demons we were fighting. Okay. That's my only little projection on that one. Just things to think about. How to use fire, okay? Okay, last card. The fourth card, which is the destination card, right? So we have sparks of light. Oh, sorry. Sparks of light. Okay. Quick pause and we'll read that one, what that's all about. Okay. So sparks of light, the destination card, card number 4. hope, sensation, and exhilaration. We love it. Oh my goodness. Yay. I haven't pulled this card yet from this deck. So cool that it comes with the collective reading. I'm here for it. We love this. Okay. This card arrives just in the nick of time. Wow. Just that line right there. Leaving a trail of celestial light to guide the way. Follow these flickers as if they are alchemical clues guiding you to an illuminated state. When this card appears, it's likely there has been a lull or void of direction in the laboratory. Some may even say the lights have been turned off. But in the deep void of darkness, a messenger of hope arrives, flickering and shimmering with enthusiasm. You might feel like the sparks of light as a childlike giddiness, the presence of magic, a vision in a dream, or a simple readiness to wake up from a long slumber. Oh my God, that sounds like, thank God. Follow the physical body. Follow your feet. That's what I always say. I'm just following my feet. Follow your feet. Follow the tingling sensations of aliveness within, and you will not be led astray. Vitality, clarity, and inspiration are within your reach. You are alive. You are a vital being. Appreciate this moment. One spark leads to the next. So to go deeper, watch or read Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, and to ponder the firework yet to be lit. The power of this card can be increased by offering recognition and thanks to the celestial realm, the many and mighty forces of light that support the alchemist on their journey. Like fireflies and fireworks, this card is linked to the spirit of the summer card. Oh yeah, it says if these two cards appear together, you'll be likely in for a midsummer delight, but we pulled this as the destination card, so. Okay. Well, collective, I'm inspired by the reading. Hopefully it gave you something to think about just in this space that you're in. If you made it this far through this video, I do pray that it gave you something to think about, just where you're at in your journey, what's going on for you with this blue moon, with this week, with this time. All of my prayers. I hope that this message finds you at the right time in the right space. And if you need any support on your healing journey, and if I can provide any of that support, please visit my website, shamanaugustina.com. I do so many different things with ceremonies and healings, protections, cleanses, so many different things. So if I can support, please do let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm here for you in so many different ways. I am praying for you. I will continue to do work for you and for myself and for this earth and for this universe. I adore you all. I truly do. Thank you for taking the time to listen today and for supporting me by listening today. And I pray for your journey always and forever. I'll talk to you very very soon, my darlings. And have a blessed Monday. Godspeed, everyone.